Welcome to MacGyver's Workshop, where you never know what we're going to be working on next. If you're not too careful, you just might learn something. Hi there, and welcome to MacGyver's Workshop, where you never know what we're going to be working on next. And if you're not too careful, you just might learn something. So, this will be, I guess, part 4 of my little deep dive into the 2011 Jeep Patriot. And in the last video, we found some issues with the pump that I purchased, and finally ended up going to an entirely different supplier and got another brand new pump, and that one seems to be working so far, knock on wood. And of course, I've only gotten about 20 miles on it since I put it back together, but it's really it was really kind of creepy in that this pump, well, the one that was giving me fits, had, I don't know if it was a manufacturing defect or if it was maybe some later revision of the pump or something, but there was no grooves machined into the casting for the rubber O-ring that seals the top of the pump. And you know, up until, well, yesterday or today, you know, I never thought to air check the actual pump itself, and lo and behold, you know, there's just air blowing out of everywhere on this pump. And of course, once I tore into it, and then I saw that there was no means of sealing, you know, the top half of the pump to the body, it made sense. And of course, the solution to hellish problems always do, you know, when you when you finally find them. So it's like, you know, the keys or the remote, you know, they're always going to be in the last place you look. I'll, you know, feel better when I get a couple hundred miles on this thing and it doesn't pop that P0777 code. And so far so good. And I'm thinking that that is the root cause of the problems that I've been having with this thing. So as far as that goes, you know, I'll be glad to be done with it, and I'm sure the owner will be glad that I'm done with it too. But you know, it's really kind of crazy, and you know how deep you can go down the rabbit hole on some of these things, and you know, that's why shops don't bother fixing anything anymore. You know, they can't afford to. I mean, the time that I've spent on this vehicle and going through, methodically going through troubleshooting steps, and you know, thinking outside the box, and you know, getting down to the root of the problem, you know, you can't pay somebody for that. So I'm gonna post some or put some footage of me driving and monitoring the scan tool and the live data, and see that right out of the box the pressures are way higher. You know, when I first was diagnosing the issue, there really wasn't any real numbers that you could go by. you know, the range was so wide. And when the car was cold, you know, they would be in that range and they would be fine and the car drove fine. But once it got up to operating temperature, you know, that's when the pump started losing pressure and quit making pressure. And of course, computer did exactly what it was supposed to do, and it popped that P0777 code. So it's kind of crazy. And you know, I wouldn't think that somebody would want me to tear into, you know, their brand new pump and, you know, make sure it had O-rings in it. You know, because who knows? You're going to avoid the warranty because you took it apart. I mean, yeah, who knows? So, on a part like that, I wouldn't think that. I mean, that'd be like taking you know, buying a starter, you know, at AutoZone and then bringing it home and then tearing it apart on the bench to make sure everything's there and everything's going to work before you put it in. Now, it's not to say you might have to do that in some cases, but it's not something you would expect to have to do. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and drive this thing the rest of the week, and come this weekend, if we don't have no more trouble and those pressures stay up, then we'll be good, and we'll run her back to deliver it back to the owner, and all will be well in the world, hopefully. So anyway, the guy from Montreal, still interested in doing the Zoom call? I'm down with it still. Get with me. I never got your name, or if I did, I forgot, but that's because I'm getting old. So you know, reach out to me. We can still put our heads together on crazy issues, if even in the future. You know, I'm game, so always willing to help. So anyhow, thank you again for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. If you don't like what you see, check in, you know, a little later on, because you never know what we're going to be working on next. So take care, be safe, and we will see you next time.